Welcome to Empower Her, the program where we discuss and celebrate the achievements and challenges of women around the world. I am your host, Best Machinemere. Throughout history, even in this day and age, especially in Africa, the society has never really given too many opportunities to us women. So in this program, we celebrate every single woman who is out there breaking boundaries against all odds, and of course, encourage, educate, and show the why women need to have their own money. And of course, we are going to bring that back home to Nigeria's challenging economy. This is a very important topic for all women, especially is a woman with an entrepreneurial spirit. She is into many things from aviation to tourism to hospitality. She's even about to open a school of tourism. How amazing is that? The other is the founder of Actualize Africa Initiative, a writer and an entrepreneur. We'll share their insights and advice on how we as women can make our own money and improve our lives and futures contribution to the Nigerian economy. To be a part of this conversation, of course, and to follow future message anytime on Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn at Best Machinemere. Our website, of course, is www.spectrumtv.ng. We welcome your comments, your insights, and we'll try to answer as many of your questions as possible live during the show on or our social media pages after the program. So don't be shy and join the conversation. For now, let's take a short break. When we come back, welcome back to Empower Her, the program designed with women across all ages in mind. When we talk about the need to have more financially literate and independent women, like we would, of course, at the end of the day, give back meaningfully and positively to the society. Are we just being emotional or are we talking facts? Let us look at the figures published by the World Bank.
According to the World Bank, women make up to 49.3% of the population of Nigeria, but only education, health, political representation, and access to finance. For example, only 59.4% of women aged 15 and above are literate, compared to 74.4% of men, and only 4.1% of seats in the national parliament are held by women, compared to 95.9% by men.
The statistics says it all. Women are underrepresented and undervalued in the Nigerian economy and society. They also show that women face many challenges and barriers in achieving our full potentials and contributing to the development of the country. That is why it is crucial for us as women to have our own money. Picture this: a family where the man is the only one who earns. They may have been living comfortably before, but with the removal of this before, of course, it will be a different thing if the woman of the house, due to one reason or the other, is unable to work. In a future episode, we'll talk about ways to make money even as a full-time stay-at-home woman. In another scenario, picture this: a young woman who is neither working or going to school. Now she has to buy tampon or sanitary towels every single month. She has to make her hair, change her underwear, take care of her health. She has to buy beauty products and even data. But she doesn't have money of her own. So she has to ask someone to save, invest, spend, and manage your own finances without depending on anyone else. It means having the freedom to make your own choices and decisions about your life and future. It means having all the security to protect yourself and your family against shock and crisis. It means having the confidence to pursue your dreams and aspiration. I know it might sound daunting, but are there women out there who are doing it? Highest paid female CEOs in Nigeria.
Nneka Onyeali-Ikpe assumed office as Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, Fidelity Bank, on January 1, 2021. She is the first female to occupy the position since the bank's inception in 1988. Nneka currently earns 110 million naira. Owen Omogiafo is the President and Group Chief Executive Officer of Transnational Corporation of Nigeria Transcorp, a diversified conglomerate with strategic investment in the power, hospitality, and oil and gas sectors. Her estimated earning is 90 million naira. Dukbe Ulushola, a Nigerian business executive. She is the managing director and chief executive officer of the Nigerian-based hospitality company Transcorp Hotels plc. In March 2020, she was appointed to head Transcorp Hotels by existing board members, becoming the second woman to lead the organization. Dukbe earns 62.7 million naira. Oluwatomi Somefu is an award-winning Nigerian banker. She is the Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director of Unity Bank, making her the first in the banking history to hold this position. Oluwatomi earns 41.7 million naira.
Welcome back to Empower Her, the program specially designed for you as a woman who is striving or ready for the next level. I'm your host, Best Nwachinemere, and today we are talking about why women need to have their own money. And this is a highlight of today's episode, where we get to have a conversation about the need to be on top of your own finances as a woman. With me today on the set, we have the amazing Mrs. Faith Essien, FIMC, CMC, a certified management consultant and senior tourism specialist, Akwa Ibom State coordinator of National Association of Nigerian Travel Agencies. She's a serial entrepreneur and married and blessed with 2 sons. The very awesome Mary Jonas. This woman, she is the founder of Act Right Africa Initiative, a child molestation prevention advocate, a writer, and an entrepreneur. Welcome to Empower Her, ma'am.
Thank you very much for having me. Such a pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure here. You're
Yes.
looking so beautiful, both of you.
Thank you.
And how was your
Thank
trip
you.
coming down here?
It was eventful.
Oh, okay.
Yes, prior to when we had to get to the bad road spots,
Yeah.
down here, everything is okay. And we had a good weather today.
Yes, we do. I mean,
It's sunny. It's a good weather.
it's a good day,
Yeah.
and I'm so glad to have you here. Reading both of your bios about the things you have been able to achieve, for me, it is really, really inspiring, and that is a conversation we really have to have. And today, since we are looking at finances as a woman, first I want to talk about the need to have your own money. When we're talking about the need to have your own money, there are a lot of things that it entails. For example, I believe that having your own money as a woman gives you confidence. It gives you confidence because you know that you can always be there.
Oh,
you
yeah.
can sort out your own needs. You can buy whatever you need. You don't have to
Oh,
ask
yes.
every single time. I want airtime. I'm asking for money. I want to make my hair. I'm asking for money. How about you? What does having your own money as a woman mean?
It's imperative for every woman to be financially independent. Why do I say it's imperative? It's because basically we have a lot of the time. Now, if we say we have someone who is giving us funds, giving us monies, with what we have right now on ground in our economy, we see that we have more expenses, and those expenses do
Yes.
not know their finances. And when women are empowered financially, they can actually do more things.
More.
You see women right now in Akwa Ibom, for example, you see a lot of women venturing into businesses, and they're doing very well. And if you look at it, it has also made the economy of our the society as a whole have the opportunity to have a better and healthier economy. So it's imperative. Every woman should strive to grow their finances.
Yes, and
Every woman
that
should
is
try.
very important.
Yeah.
That is a very important conversation to have. And you, ma'am, seeing how you already are a founder of an initiative, this was not your first job, obviously.
Yeah, it
What was
wasn't.
your first job? And how did it
Oh.
shape your view about
Well,
money?
I have just like before we came on set, we had a
A
little bit of
tete-a-tete.
yes.
Conversation.
I didn't work before I finally found me.
The one that
No, yeah.
works.
So I'll say I started with thrift.
Okay.
So they're selling
Okay.
thrift, what we call the okrika,
Yeah.
while in school, at the university and all that. So when I graduated and I was looking for a job, I still, ventured into that full time. Then from there, I left and I opened a beauty salon, buy it over, like
Mm-hmm.
buy everything, the entire salon and all of that. And I had the money at the time.
And
So
that
I,
is sorry to cut you short,
okay,
but you see that she had the money at the time,
yes,
and that came from already doing business
That got my
yes,
before then.
attention.
yes,
Yeah,
So
she
imagine
had
if,
money.
imagine if she
yes.
hadn't
She had savings.
I
yeah,
had
she had
savings,
savings.
yes, for my
Imagine if she
trips and
wasn't
all
into the
that.
treats and all
Yeah,
of those things,
yes.
and such opportunity arose.
Arrived.
She
I would
wouldn't have
have
been able to take
been,
advantage of it.
yes. When we left town, I had to fold up, but I needed something that was more mobile. So
Okay.
I started selling another form of buying and selling that I could move with and all of that. So it's been like that for me until we came back here permanently, and I started with doing some other things. I ventured into network marketing. From network marketing, I ventured into the sales of engine oil. Oh,
She has been very adventurous. I
You
thought
have been
I thought I was
very
adventurous.
No,
I've seen my
it's not like
I've
that, but this time around, I needed to go. I had to make it a little bit professional. So I got a company registered with the Corporate Affairs Commission, and then I started. Even with that, I'm also a social entrepreneur. I run Attract Africa initiative where we also empower women with skills and all of that.
Mhm.
So it's
And
been,
that's what got my attention.
yes,
But you know, when you talk about this, you did some businesses that didn't work out.
yes.
Now I really, really want to ask, what is like the biggest financial mistake you have made?
Can I
Okay.
just chip in
Oh,
here?
feel free.
Okay, because from what she's been saying, it was clear from what she discussed that she had some savings.
Yes.
You know, talking about business, there's more to business and finance, really. When we want to strive to have financial independence, what we must first of all understand is being independent financially just simply means, first of all, you have enough income to live a salary. How do you grow to that position
Yes.
where you are now financially independent?
Independent.
Because she mentioned something very key which had to do with she had savings,
Yes.
and that's how she was able to buy up
over.
and
A
switch
salon.
over into a new business.
Yes.
So, but what is always very key, if you look out on the streets, like you already had, we just watched, and you ask a lot of people, they have been very adventurous. A lot of
Yes.
women have been very adventurous, I can
Yes.
tell you, in business.
Yes.
We have tried so many things. But the issue is, are we actually growing in these things?
Are we deliberate?
Yes.
Are we deliberate in our growth? So why it's really key, and I'm excited to be here today, is we need to bring things properly into perspective. Now, women, are we having residual income? And what is residual income? Basically, residual income is just what comes in that takes care of everything. When I say everything, it takes care of your recurring bills, and after that, what is left?
Left.
What is
Because
left?
you can't really call yourself financially independent
Independent.
if you cannot afford yourself. You have
To
to be
even
able
take
to
care of
afford
yourself.
yourself,
Yes,
and then
yes.
have a spare.
Yeah.
That is the only time you can claim financial independence.
That's
Because
correct.
I can't say I'm financially independent and I cannot afford. I need something
Simple
for myself
basics.
or anything, and I still have to ask someone else.
Yes.
But it is also important to know, okay, these are the things that I did and they didn't work out. These are
Yes.
some decisions I made and they backfired. Of course, this is something you learned for and you learned from and you moved forward.
Yes.
So which is important to shine a light on that.
Yes.
So that it also educates other people.
People.
Oh yeah, I did it,
think
so you don't have to.
I think one of the greatest mistake I made was venturing into businesses that I didn't really research on. Like when the beauty business came, I
Okay.
didn't research. It was just an opportunity. I
And
knew
you
there was
grabbed
money
it.
in it, so I just grabbed it. And of course, I made money, but I didn't plan. But what I eventually got to learn is, for you, before you venture into any business, I encourage training a lot. Don't just
Very
go into
important.
business
Oh,
and all
yes,
of that.
very
So
important.
you attend seminars,
To
talk
be
to
properly
people, get mentors.
informed.
Yes, because I did all of it. Was like a fanfare. I just needed I needed sources of income.
Income.
But right now, from the experiences I've gotten, I'm still attending conferences.
Yeah.
Now, what I have learned over time is that you need to be deliberate. You need to plan. You need to put your books in place, and if you're more deliberate, I think you will make. I won't say more profit, but just like we talked about, you make
You'll
more
be able
savings
to sustain
sustain
that
the growth and all of that. So right now, if you offer me a beauty business, I'll tell you no, because it's not like the passion was in place, but I knew there was money in it. I went into it without learning the trade. then I got people to work for me. And of course,
Okay.
even though I was making money, but I know they also dealt with me. So because I had no real idea. So if you offer me a beauty business now, before I venture, I need to go for training. And I tell people, I keep talking about beauty business because I did it for a long time. Now, before you venture into any business, be sure that you have all the knowledge about this business, so that if your
Or at least
staff,
the basic
knowledge, that any day your staff decides to
Up
bail
and
on you,
leave.
you can comfortably step in, hold your business down while you're scouting for other people. So that's what I did, and that's one of
And
the
that is
mistakes.
very
Yeah,
important.
it's very important. But
To
right
be-
now, I'm more deliberate. Yeah.
Yeah, that is very important, to be grounded in what you are doing.
Yes.
So if at any point you find yourself, oh, I'm the only one here, you can comfortably, at least to a
So-
certain degree, be able to run your business. But we keep talking about being able to afford yourself, and that is personal. Also talking
that's
about
true.
finance, which is more like a business angle. Balancing your personal life with your financial goals, it can also be very challenging if you don't really understand that these are two different things. And even though they are different, they are also intertwined. So even though, okay, this is me best, I'm a person and I have my needs, and this is my financial life, which is my income, even my expenses, they are all in my financial life. Now, being able to balance it, to be able to live as best, afford myself, and also still have enough left in my pocket at the end of the day, that will say, okay, now I have savings, this is what I have left. How do you manage it? Because sometimes you have something pressing in your personal life, maybe even family and friends, there's an emergency, and this is your financial goal for, I don't know, maybe the week, the day, the month. This is your financial goal, and you would have made it, but because of the pressing need in your personal life, how do you manage?
You have already said that educate yourself. Now, educate yourself on is an English word, budget. But what is really budgeting about? You look at the monies that are before you, income. We have just been always emphasizing on business.
Yes.
But there are a lot of missions for the extra side hustles we do, or the tips. The list is endless. So sometimes it may not just be business here. It's not everybody that is a serial entrepreneur or he's selling something. But the goal is for every woman to be financially independent. So even if I'm running a salary business, a female who works in a studio and she's earning salary, she has side gigs, maybe she can do video editing and all of those extra monies that come in. Now, but she carefully comes to a place of budgeting what comes in. Now, the problem is a lot of us women, we don't consider what comes in monthly. I'm so grateful to God for providing, but we don't consider how much came in. How much did we spend? The reason is because if you don't consider what comes in, for example, if from all these side hustles, the multiple streams of income you've had, maybe let's say 300,000 comes in, but within a month, you have 3 family weddings, like you put it, or emergencies, you now end up spending 400,000.
Oh, or your personal shopper tells you that there's a new boot in town,
And there is
and
a
you
time
need to have
frame.
it, and you need to
Sisters,
have
you are
this.
with me.
This
Oh,
This is what will complete your look.
50% free or discount, and you just say, okay, let me just buy,
And you may not need
and
it
I
at
will
that
now
point.
pay later.
Buy, pay
So
later.
now you have now pushed from the income you have received, you have now taken your expenses forward. So it's just easy to say I'm budgeting, but really in our daily lifestyle, are we really budgeting? So it takes discipline to do that.
Okay.
Now, she talks about a lot of women do not have savings. And if you don't even have savings, you cannot even proceed to the next level of investment. I just take you back. Let me share a personal experience.
Okay.
About 13 years ago, my younger sister came to stay with me in Akwa Ibom. She was doing an IT and she was posted to a bank, and the bank was near my house. So, and she didn't need to pay transport to the place.
And she did also need to pay rent.
She didn't also need to pay rent. But here's the thing. This is what she did that taught me a lesson. What she was being paid at the time, this was 2010, she was being paid 40,000 for an IT in the bank. Good choice. She was not even a teller. She was a front desk staff in the customer service. Very smart young lady. So I was obsessed with saying to her, you are in the customer desk. You should always look very good. We should get new clothes. You should get this, that, and are you not going to eat at the canteen? And she would just laugh it off. She would say, Faith, I'll be fine. And she would just put up her clothes. She's smart, but she's within her budget. And she worked for 6 months. Because she was good at her place of work, she was always having tips. Now, here's the thing that shocked me. And turned my narrative. That's when I began to review my expenditure. At the end of her 6 months, she had saved 240,000 naira.
Oh, okay.
Bear in mind, she was earning 40,000 naira. Good.
Month.
So I asked a simple question. Was it that you're not spending of your salary? She smiled. She also had gigs. She was doing side hustles. So, but she made it a point of duty to save all that came in. Now, here's the shocker. For my siblings, my mom had I just decided to plant cassava and plantain on mine. I was a very lazy investor. Just put it up there. So when they harvest, I just take a little and I went back home. But she, in her land,
Oh, wow.
she paid for her final year school fees. So she didn't get money from my parents. And voila.
Very challenging.
Yes, I was earning more than
Very
her.
deliberate.
I was living in a I was living in a 1-bedroom at the time, very comfortable. I was living large in business and pastors. She was there over the weekend. So after the conference, she attended an event and she said to me in her dialect, "Oh, everybody here looks prim and proper, so well dressed and expensive." I said, "Really?" She said, "How many people here, they have a lot of money, oh." I now smiled. I said to her, and I pointed. I said, "This young lady wearing," my mom was now shocked. So she just said in pidgin, "That means all the money where they make, they wear it all over themselves." But that stuck on me. When we say out of life,
Yeah.
because challenges always come. You said inflation for subsidy. Now the fertilized plant. So, and these things will keep happening. So how then can we attain financial independence?
And I think it comes with financial literacy. You know, we are very, very, as a woman, you as a woman, what can I do to cushion this effect on me? Nowadays, it's rare to find somebody with just one stream of income. You find somebody, okay, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm not talking about me as Beth, I'm just saying randomly, like I'm doing a side hustle, an online vision of yourself. You have to know, okay, this is what I plan to do. For example, me last year, I said, okay, this is how much is coming in. What should I now be doing? What is the goal for this year? The goal for this year, I said, okay, Beth, you don't have a property. Why not invest in one?
Fantastic.
And that became my goal. So when I get my pay from wherever source is coming from, I'm looking towards, this is my goal. So it doesn't matter. I don't do like, oh, I'm going to spend 50% and save 50%. That should be my focus. My focus is having something, I've always said, something that would outlive me. Something that would outlive me. So to do that and also challenge myself and be like, okay, considering the hands that were dealt me, I was able to achieve this. And you know, one thing with achieving goals, setting goals, bite-sized goals, when you achieve that particular goal, you have grown out of that level. You're now focusing on the next step. So that's what I did. I did get my property, and then I said, okay, this year we got one last year. Why not get 5? Not 2. Why not get 5?
Go girl.
Yeah, go girl. One thing with money. Money will always come. Regardless of how broke you are right now, one thing with money is that it will always come. You said something when we were discussing backstage. Have you actually like deliberately gone to print your bank statement to see what have I spent on just airtime? You see? So money will always come, but I believe in creating a funnel for the money before it comes. Like some people will be like, just give me 10 million. Forget what I would do. Just give. The problem with this country is that they don't give their youth allowances. Go to United States, they are giving their youth 2 million billion every single day. Nobody's giving us. So because of that, I cannot be useful. But no, money, I don't know what to say. So how is it that I'm getting this much money? So, but if you don't create a funnel, you will see that the money will keep fizzling away because you're not directing the money, right?
Yeah.
And you said something about that, about how you intentionally budget. We'd like to hear more about that.
Intentional budgeting. It's just a function of money managerial skills. When you just already mentioned how you made a plan to purchase a land. Now, you didn't want to stick to the rule of saving 50, 30, 20%. I can't help but take you there because the truth is you need to start from somewhere. A lot of us
I was already used to.
Yes.
If I tell myself, okay, I'm earning 20,000 naira this month, I'm okay.
Okay. A lot of women who we have seen do businesses, they do a lot of what we call osusu.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
sure even all of us seated here,
Yes.
somehow
Yes.
our backhand is on Osusu.
Mm.
But you
Osusu
see,
is Akawo.
yes,
Yes,
Akawo,
yes, yes.
exactly. Most women who are in business, who even earn salary, most of us are in Osusu.
Mm.
Now the question is, this Osusu that we get when it's our turn, do we use it to just handle a project? When I mean a project, a lot of women who take this Osusu money, sometimes they use it to just pay house rent.
Mm.
Some women use it to do or buy a car,
Mm.
you know,
Pay
not
school fees.
yes, school
And be
fees,
like,
which is so
I worked for
common.
this, so I deserve Bone Street. This is my money.
My sister,
I
we now
deserve
crown
Bone
it up with the
Street.
bone straight thing. So, but the issue is this: when we say investing up, intentionally now, when we have this Osusu, apart from handling a project that is most times a recurring expenditure,
Yes.
we need to consciously plan to say what we have saved, let us keep it for an investment. Now, why I will still tilt towards the 20%, the 50, 30, 20% rule is because sometimes your method of saving, you can't do it for a long time. You just had a focus for a season, 1, 2, 3 years. One of the conferences that we just had last week, called Releasing the Princess Within Conference. One of the years we had that conference, a financial analyst from Abuja, she taught us as women how to make 2-year, 5-year, 10, 15, 25-year plan, financial plan. For me, it was a pop-up. She came with sheets and I went back to study it. The reason is this: we can't always do this budget thing like she has said, but if you just determine to take out 20% of whatever comes in, so it doesn't really it's not a burden to you to an extent. You just keep it aside. Like I said, backstage, I made reference to how I didn't invest wisely. There's a part of financial independence that has to do with investing wisely. Yes. 2015, I was into cryptocurrency, among the so many businesses I put my hands into. And for whatever reasons, I had some expenses come up. I sold the Bitcoin I had, and then Bitcoin was 355,000 naira. That was 2017. I sold it in February. By November, Bitcoin had hit 1.3 million. And I think now Bitcoin is over 20 million.
Over 20 million.
When I think of it, I have a heartache, and I would say,
don't think
was
about
it my village people?
Yes, because you have to solve that problem at that point.
So, but you see,
and you've also learned.
I have learned. So, but what I'm trying to do now is still go back to some of this kind of investment, but I go at a pace. And that's why I would still love to take us back to what we call passive income, what you all call passive income. Like you said, you bought a land and you're hitting 5. I'm rooting for you. In fact, I'm just going to be your accountability partner. I will call you, Mary, to say, how are you doing? Are we on stage 3 on the land and all of that? Because it's important as women growing in business that we have not just mentors in our line of business or those women who have gone ahead of us. The Bible says, let the older women teach the younger ones. So even in business, I have people who are older than me that I learn from, but it's also good to have.
Do you know I just made the worst mistake by selling my coin, and somebody to brag to, oh, please allow me this bragging moment. This is my moment.
My bragging rights.
Yes, this is my moment. Allow me this moment. So having that accountability partner is something we didn't plan to talk about, but you see how it is very, and knowing each person's strength, and so you know where to lean on them, when to lean on them.
Yes.
When you say circle of friends, I know this is, I love this, but I'm laughing because for finances, I have circle of friends. One of them, if I need 5 million, and we are good friends, and she had a point.
Yes.
No, she had a point. When you want to grow financially, you need to have that circle. Yes. You may call it a cabal thing. You may call it a class thing. People, but
a clique.
Yes, you could call it a clique thing, but most times I don't mean those who pretend. I don't mean those who actually are seeing things the way you see things. Yes.
Okay. Oh, and now we've mentioned a lot of skills needed to be financially independent. We've talked about financial literacy. We talked about to learn, important financial skill to learn.
I think we've gone around all of it.
So which one now should I say, okay, this one is taking precedence?
They're all important, but for me, education is key. I can never stop learning. Like we came here today to discuss, but if I tell you what I have learned already, what I'm going to go back home. So, like when we talked about taking a stock of data, and me, like I burn on learning is very important. And I'll say, do not venture into any business. The one I say, each time when I wanted to start the lubricant thing, I started from a kiosk. I'm still growing from, I have a plan. I don't have to say it here. One of the discouraging comments, they talked about the cement, or I was like, okay, I got kind of consoling that this
you got encouraged.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I can't stop learning. Now I didn't just want to do something that I'll do today, then tomorrow I'll jump, and so that I wanted something that even if I have to do other businesses, I needed something sustainable and something I could develop into a full-fledged company, not just a buying people you follow even online. My life depends on it. So I might just be small, but I have a goal, I have a plan, I know where I am going. So no matter what you say to me today, you can't deter me because my mind is made up and I know where I am going. Focus. That's why I keep saying that I can never
emphasize the need
for education. Yes, to learn. So beyond budgeting from education is key.
Okay, there's also this thing, right? There are so many myths about women being financially independent. I'll go first. There's one, you say that when a woman is financially dependent, she cannot be under a man. She cannot submit to a man. She will become nasty attitude. I say that nastiness comes if you are nasty because you have money. You already are a nasty person. It's just amplifying what you already have. But it's important to debunk some of these myths so that it doesn't hold other women back and be like, don't worry, I'm okay being the way I am because it is what is keeping my marriage together. It is what is making me a better person.
Why would a woman?
Why I'm smiling is because most people who are poor that look like they're humble is because they are poor.
Yes.
So that being said, I think it has to do with your character as a person.
Yeah, the money just magnifying.
Yes, like you just said. So, but that's not the reason why to say I will not desire and her characteristics. You realize that woman was everywhere. She was doing everything. Proverbs 32. In fact, I think it's almost impossible to have all of that in one woman. I mean, she was everywhere.
It's possible. We'll make it possible in Jesus' name.
But you see, the beautiful part is that end of that chapter ended up saying that her husband sits at the gate and is proud of his wife. So it shouldn't really be a problem in marriage. And that's because you're also bringing it to just only marriage. You have women who are widows. You have women who are single moms. You have women who are single who take care of their entire family. So I won't say we should hammer in on.
And why won't a woman even want to work? Okay, it's still taking us back to the marriage issue. And since we are talking about women now, before any woman, okay, a lot of people, if you've already made the mistake, I'm sorry, but if you're single, no one that keeps saying, okay, she said the husband kept telling her before marriage, you cannot be richer than me. There's certain things you cannot do. Yes, and she still went ahead with the marriage. Right now, she's at home.
Oh, wow.
She's into network marketing and all of that. So these are some of the things we need to discuss with our spouses to be. That is if you're yet to get. And still going back to divorce, what if the children's fees are so high and this man tells you that the children stay with me or they come with you, and if they come with you, I'm not going to support you. So for the first few months where you're trying to go to welfare, government should strive.
Financially independent.
Yes, should strive, yes.
And also anything can happen. Also talking about that, we need to hammer in on the benefits of being financially independent as a woman. I started off by saying that, number one, it gives you confidence.
Yes.
Because you know that you will not take a lot of things if you know that you can afford yourself. The reason why some women end up taking things because they know that if I walk away, if I walk away from this job, if I walk away from this situation, I will not be able to take care of myself. For me, another one is also security. Because, okay, let us even use the basic example. I close late from work. I want to go home, but I know that it's already very late and I'm living in an area that is not very safe for me to work as a woman. I cannot afford to book boat or to book any taxi to take me home. And I don't have my own car. Imagine if I was financially dependent, if I was financially independent, I'll be able to afford that
Certain
basic.
things.
Yes, I'll be able to afford certain things. So are there also other benefits that you like to shine some light on that we have as women when we are financially independent, of course?
Now there is a level, if you're a very dependent woman, even in marriage, even in relationship, I keep telling women, the man is not your ATM. No, especially when you're not married and he has this
Word! A man is
abusive.
not your
No,
ATM.
he's not. So it's your security. Just do everything to be, even in marriages, for God's sake. There's certain things there's certain things that a man will dare not do to you if you're financially independent. Why? Because he knows you have value.
And he
If
knows
you're
that
financially independent, you have value. And see, money has nothing to do with being submissive. I can have all the money and I'm still submissive. I mean, I'm a Christian. What does the Bible say? That I should submit to him because he's submitting to God. Submitting to him means submitting to God. You know, so it has nothing. Not being submissive is character. I mean, I advocate against gender-based violence and all of that. So I know some of these things. I know a woman that is not thrown out bonds. You know, she goes about with her certificate. Why? And each time I tell her, just take yourself away from the area of abuse, she will tell you, where do I go to? I don't have money and all of that. So I don't know.
How can women support each other in this journey of financial independence? Just very brief, because this is as much as we can take today.
Mentorship. I would encourage women to look for women who inspires them. And they're in our communities. They're not far-fetched. Not all women that are successful are on the internet and online. They are just around you. They can be in your church. They can be in your community. I think we women should be deliberate about that. Also for the younger girls, those who are not yet.
Okay, how about you, ma'am? Just very brief.
We're out of time already.
I know you say education. I know you say education because I've learned that is what matters for you. That is like the most important
thing. For me, yes.
Thing.
And like she said, mentorship. Because like I mentor people and I have my mentor.
Which is also education.
It's a chain. So
which is also education. Yes. Thank you for tuning in to Empower Her today. Unfortunately, this is as much as we can take, but be sure that we'll come back to you with even more episodes. I hope that you enjoyed this one and you learned something new. I know I learned, and I know that I also got motivated. I hope you also got motivated to pursue your own money goals and aspirations. Before we say goodbye, tell me, what did you learn? For me, I learned the place of education, being deliberate, budgeting and planning. I'm eager to hear what you learned. You can send a message on Facebook at Spectrum Television, on Twitter at Spectrum T Online, and of course, you can send me a message anytime on Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn at Best Machineme. And that brings us to the end of this episode of Empower Her. Regardless of where you are, remember that you've got this. Keep pushing. The results will soon start to show, and I'll be here cheering you all the way, always. Thank you for joining us today on Empower Her. I am your host, Best Machineme, signing off until next week. Stay empowered.